Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Team Wars review. This time we got Cows and Scuzzle and Mintberry Crunch and Satan. That's kind of the main cards this week, I would say, that are the win conditions. Let's just get through it. We're going to start with all the different ones. We have it set up so it's the shortest games first, so you'll see which ones we did really well on first. But it's fun to see a little bit of how we did it. So he led Scuzzlebutt. I didn't really have another good play. I could have maybe played Scout on the top, but if you lead Scuzzlebutt, that's 6 energy. That's only 4 energy that you have to deal with the cows. So right now, he's pretty much at max energy. He used all his energy, and I still take the bar. So it's in pretty good shape for me. He did get his Mintberry Crunch out, which is good for him. Your goal as a user this week was to get... I almost lost the bar there. That was close. Your goal this week was to get your Mintberry Crunch on the enemy Mintberry Crunch is the goal. But I was able to just hit him with the range cards in general there, so that's good. He's trying to get the Mintberry or the Member Berries off here. Might work for him. He gets the Scuzzle boost on the Scout, but we take him out, and our Chaos is alive enough to take out the Member Berries. So that works out really well for us. He doesn't get any spawns from the Member Berry. He only gets 1 spawn from the Member Berry. And actually... the one thing that's bad about Member Berries and Team Wars is that you can't make the deck perfectly for Team Wars or perfectly for the Member Berries. And so when you use the Member Berries, you could win or you could potentially lose because your Member Berries, even if they pull 3 units in, if it's the wrong units at the wrong time, you're not going to do very well. You know, if you Member Berries your Timmy and your Alt-Human Kite right into the enemy. All right, we're going to lead with the Labarre just to lower their attack a little bit, or lower their health, excuse me. Then we use the Professor Chaos to stun them. I'm going to use our Mintberry Crunch to boost this push a little bit. It was a little sketch on the attacks there. I didn't feel like I should have lost the bar there, but cows are very iffy on their attacks, especially when they get lava slowed. It's almost like they get double attacks when they're lava slowed. It's very, very strange. We're waiting with the Mintberry Crunch. We want to make sure that it broke the Slave Heal there. There's not a lot that breaks the Slave Heal this week. I'm going to go ahead and tank up behind our range cards. This is looking good. This is looking good. Not worrying too much about that bar because I felt like we had a good position here. Now Mintberry Crunch could take the bar. All right, go ahead and use them both. Try to get that Medusa killed as much as possible. That was pretty good there. Should be an easy bar. Use that too early. Way too early. Could have maybe used it to avoid the new kid hit here. I guess in my head I was avoiding Satan, but there's no Satan. Alright. This is looking good. Poor Scout play. I would have played the Scout up with the cows to try to kill the cows. Now this play is funny to me. We actually pull away the Shield Maiden with the Wonder Tweak. Oh, nice. Love it. All right, now we get the shield. Half damage isn't going to matter because Shield Maiden is a fucking beast. Well played. Well played to get the first bar, though, buddy. All right, now we got Shiny Sin from F2 Pain. F2 Pain is a pretty decent team. Definitely on the top end of teams for sure. So you can at least trust that they're going to have decent levels and decent card choices. They might not be the best players, though, but you can trust that they might catch you with levels. So here, I'd probably say Alt-Human Kite in the corner would be our play. Yeah. Or, yeah. Copy the... Okay, that's too bad with the Mintberry Crunch because we don't have our Mintberry Crunch. Kind of want to wait for him to play his ability. Hits the Alt-Human Kite instead of our group. That works out. Our Mintberry Crunch does not hit his Mintberry Crunch. Or it does hit the cows. So that's good. Or sorry, it doesn't hit the cows. It hit the Mintberry Crunch. The cows got laid like right at the right time. So we're holding off on the Mintberry Crunch. You don't really want to use his ability on a tank. It's just not really worth it for the extra damage. So you want to wait till he plays something else and then use it to deal with it. So the Chaos gets it on the backside. He doesn't get any boost from the Scuzzle. So although he played pretty well early, he probably just threw away the whole game there. Coop this week. You don't want to lead with Coop ever. It's too easy to get an advantage on your side. But the Coop is really good to... You always kind of want to put the Coop either on the bottom or the top side to force him to play cards to deal with it. Not just like any card that he plays. You see how the Cocks are just always going to be on the side like that? And if they get on New Kid, they can be very, very, very dangerous. Or we lead with the Santa, which is probably one of the better leads this week, is leading the Santa, especially if you have the Mintberry Crunch in hand. Very, very big play. You don't want to play the Mintberry Crunch too soon with the Santa, though, because Mintberry Crunch will will fly in front of the Santa. So keep that in mind. But we're going to slow play the Alt-Human Kite. That's exactly what he did. So now we play this because the Santa's going to stop walking, so we don't have to worry about walking in front of him, right? And you want to get that Mintberry Crunch out first. Like, that's kind of your goal. So we're going to use the Wonder Tweak, bring them all together. I was going to bring them all together so that I could use the Mintberry Crunch on them, but unfortunately that's not going to work. But we get the Mintberry Crunch, we wait, and now we get the Mintberry Crunch on the push. Well done, well done. An attempt at a nice play on his part, but I snuffed that out very quickly, and he pulls in my range cards for the bar. Thank you very much. Mintberry Crunch still there, still attacking. But that level 6 Wonder Tweak. Don't sleep on Wonder Tweak's damage, man. He does a lot of damage. Now here the Coop is just to kind of slow play a little bit. I could have played like Stampede there. Actually, would have been okay. It would have killed Wonder Tweak, but this is a good play as well. He's got to play something against Scout. Scout still does pretty good damage against it. We shield up. We're probably going to just Cow Stampede through the Terrence and Phillip, honestly. That's probably what I would do. Yep. Especially since he played something that the cows will kill. Being the assassin, that is. Well played there. We got a shield up. Alright. Wonder Tweak in to potentially pull anybody away, but he plays the lava. Good game. Good game. So you're seeing little nuanced plays here that are kind of winning me the games. Although eventually I would probably win just with levels on a lot of these. Okay, he's just pounding it. You can look at this. Look at this team. Or look at this levels. 61-56. That's ridiculous. And I always get these. It's the craziest thing. I always get these matchups on my main account. Like, I'll go through sweaty match after sweaty match on all my other accounts, and then I get to this one and I get 6,000. Like, what the fuck? Lava just isn't a good card. Yeah, Lava never once has I've seen it work in Team. I've seen it sort of work where it like stops that one push, but then you're 3 energy out for the next one. Like, it just doesn't do enough. And it doesn't stop the cows, and like I said, it actually makes them glitch and makes them attack like double. It's really weird. Like, you'll have the cow absolutely only hit once, but it'll hit twice because it didn't hit the other time because of the glitch with the slow. It's just very strange. It makes it really inconsistent with the hits, and I'd rather just know what the fuck's gonna happen. So he gets the Scuzzle on the Slave. I mean, I'd rather get it on 2 units that equal 5, because the Slave just doesn't help. Like, it doesn't increase his Slave heal. That's one thing about Slave, is that the heal doesn't increase. So if you get a Robin Tweak on the Slave, it doesn't increase the threshold of the heal. It would be awesome if it did, and Slave would be a very, very, very good card if that worked that way, because you could get to a point where the Slave cannot die because there's nothing in the game that could break his heal if you get 2 Robin Tweaks on him or something. But that would be crazy. But yeah, this week was not for this guy. Feel bad. Wow, it one-shotted the the cows with the Mintberry Crunch. All right, we got Blue here. Blurry Flyweight 2020-23. 22-23. All right, leading with the Shield Maiden. Not terrible, but you want to do it behind New Kid. Saves you a little bit of time. Saves you a little bit of distance. This is good for him to an extent, but I get to build my push behind him. Like I said, you shouldn't use your Mintberry Crunch, because if he just holds on to his Mintberry Crunch, I can't really do anything, right? Like, anything I put gets killed. I can't play Scout. I can't play certain cards, so it makes it very difficult. Obviously, levels here are going to be to my advantage heavily. But as you can see, the Mintberry Crunch did deal with what he was supposed to deal with. Now, Mintberry Crunch here would probably be the play, because we're going to use the ability to heal up our Scuzzled, keep him alive a tiny bit longer. We don't have to worry about the Mintberry Crunch killing our guy, so we don't have to worry about that. And we got to just make sure we kill the Mintberry Crunch there. Okay, that's good. The thing about cow weeks, though, is you really got to stay calm, stay collected, because you can almost always get the bar back with Cow Stampede yourself. So try to just, when you're playing cows, if they play cows early, try to just be composed and deal with their push in a way that's going to build the counter push for you. Don't worry about losing the bar. Don't slam 10 energy just to stop it, and then they can kill you in one group. You know, be smart with your placement. Be smart how you defend, because it'll end up turning around like this, and they won't be able to stop you because they're out 5 energy already. As you can see, the cows just smack them home. Smack them home. So just stay calm. Especially if you feel like you have a level advantage, you don't have to worry too much about coming back, because it's going to happen on these weeks. Especially when you got Mintberry Crunch. The only real threat this week was somebody getting Mintberry Crunch out way before yours. Like, if your Mintberry Crunch is buried and they led Santa Mintberry Crunch, you might have trouble coming back if you can't get, you know, Alt Human Kite or Professor Chaos to hit your Mintberry Crunch. Hit their Mintberry Crunch, rather. So this is a pretty good start. I would probably say this is maybe the best start this week, was Santa followed by Alt Human Kite. Just gives you a lot of versatility. You can play the Mintberry Crunch into the ability immediately, the Shield Maiden into a shield immediately. You can push back anything that might be dangerous. Right now, you don't want to push anybody back. You don't want to use these abilities that impact the board without having a reason to use them. So this is a really good Mintberry Crunch there. Does a lot of damage. We're going to go ahead and deal with those guys. There you go. Mintberry Crunch dealing with a lot there. The Professor Chaos getting smacked, though. It's too bad the lava does deal with him. So here's an instance. I got a flying unit, bro. What's your lava going to do against me? Now, even if you deal with this push, look at this. Look at the timing of that. Because of the lava slow, my Santa's timing, I used them both at the same time, but because of the lava slow, my Mintberry Crunch, oh, I didn't go back far enough, my bad. Because of the lava slow, my Mintberry Crunch used his ability and was ready for the charge. Watch this. I used the Santa, and then I used the Mintberry Crunch, and because of the lava slow and Santa, it actually worked. It actually worked. We didn't get another charge off, but it's still interesting. All right, the cows are coming level 6. All right, this is good. We're just, like I said, this is just positioning me to counter push. Because I'm like, okay, they're probably going to lose the bar. But now I know he doesn't have Satan. I know he doesn't have Incan. You know, I know stuff like that doesn't exist this week. So he's not going to stop me from doing 200 damage, especially with a scout on the top side. So now we're in good shape. Our Shield Maiden will kill the scout, which is important. Actually, the Wonder Tweak might kill the scout, which is good. Ooh, interesting stun there. That could have been game-changing for him, but the scout on the top side, like I said, doesn't even die to New Kid, and was able to just keep blasting away. Oh, what does that say? Okay, here we go. Balls Deep. That's a good name. Alt Human Kite is a good lead because you can always slow play backwards, which is always a good play. I should have used it, but I was just kind of waiting. Because it's not bad to get him to play something into it. And I don't necessarily want to push his units back, but there it was at a little angle, so it was okay. So see, I kind of baited him into the Labard there. The Labard wasn't a good play there. So we're just waiting for it to get on our side so that we have the benefit. And we're going to use the cows here to our benefit. We use the Mintberry Crunch on the cows. An extra 170 damage on each of them. He gets his Professor Chaos out, but only on one cow. We use our Mintberry Crunch. No, we hold the Mintberry Crunch. Smart play. Smart play, waiting on the next card that he plays, like the Scout. And we take the Scout out with the Mintberry Crunch. Well played. The first bar down, and Mintberry Crunch still floating like a demon above him. Well played there, well played. We're going to be able to slow play here. Get the Mintberry Crunch out. Okay, we see if the scout can kill him before the Mintberry Crunch goes down. Yes, the Mintberry Crunch survives. Very dangerous for him. That doesn't actually stop him at all. He should have let him get close enough for New Kid to hit the Mintberry Crunch too. We use the Mintberry Crunch to get some damage on that other cow, but he still takes the bar. See, that was an example of the cows doing a lot of damage. Feeling like they hit 2 or 3 times. That doesn't bother me, really. We're going to put some range out there to help us out. Thoughts on starting Scuzzle? This week, not as detrimental as some other weeks because you can't really, like, build a big push. If it was, like, a Nicole week, you don't want to play Scuzzle into it because they could just stack their Nicole off of it. The weeks you don't want to play Scuzzle first are the weeks where you can just, like... Because he doesn't kill the unit he's attacking, right? So if you can play a unit and like get quote-unquote stacked in a way, Scuzzle's a bad start. But this week, Scuzzle's not bad because you can put Mintberry Crunch behind him. Just protect the Mintberry Crunch the whole time. Not a big deal. Not dangerous. But I would say the problem with starting Scuzzlebutt is what I did earlier. If you start Scuzzlebutt and they play cows, you might lose 2 bars. And you might not be able to come back from that, depending on how they play after that. If they get their Scuzzlebutt in front of your Scuzzlebutt on their side, that's real trouble for you. Real trouble for you. So I don't like the lead of Scuzzle, although it can work for you. It definitely can work. It's not an impossible play. But it would have to be... Yeah. I can't imagine... Jeff, I can't imagine if... what cards I would have in my hand where I would want to lead Scuzzlebutt. It would have to be like Purify, Professor Chaos, Wonder Tweak, Mintberry Crunch. Arguably Mintberry Crunch in the corner then would be a better play. And then play Scuzzle in front of him later, depending on how the board develops, but kind of just depends. Here I had to play the card front because I was worried about him getting double taps, and look at that, he still gets double tapped. But as you can see, like, it's kind of an example there. Once you get the scout or once you get the Scuzzle out like in front of your other units, you're in trouble. Or the other guy's in trouble. Because that's a lot of fucking health, even at level 5. What if I want to play Honky Donk Donk? Pookie Dookie Bookie Dukes. Yeah, man, what if you want to play Honky Tonk Badonkadonk? Oh, that's a real song. I'm going to get sued. So then you can see the Scuzzle just comes through and fucks shit up. You wait for the cows to play for the blast, and now the cows are going to actually step over the member berries and make them only spawn 1, so that's good. Does get the Mintberry Crunch, though, which is kind of interesting. All right. This one started late on accident. I had a weird glitch where I clicked record, and then it like glitched when I played Chaos to counter... I played that Chaos to counter his Scout, I think, is the first play. And when I played Scout, my whole computer like froze, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And the recording stopped. So I didn't realize it. Good thing I realized it. Akuma, you're fucking using Chat GPT. There's a really good Mintberry Crunch here. We're able to stop. We're not able to stop the cow though. Although the Scuzzle doesn't go on anyone. Doesn't go on anyone scary. Bears can lose you a game just as easy to win. Oh, yeah, for sure. That's why I don't like to run them. Same with Lava. Same with... Well, I mean, Lava can't win you the game as easily, but... Yeah! Good hit, good hit. Yeah! Good hit.
This fucking dummy!
Good shit, good shit. You infected our chat. If we can get the Mintberry Crunch dead, yes. He almost saved his Mintberry Crunch there. If he would have saved his Mintberry Crunch there, I might have been in a little bit of trouble. I would have had to play really particular to get that Alt-Human Kite to hit the Mintberry Crunch. Or maybe New Kid could have done it, I guess. Possible. Alright. We got Alt-Human Kite taking out the Coop. We're going to play the Cox on the top side. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Watch me try to protect the Alt-Human Kite here by doing double hits. And it might have worked if he wouldn't have fucking stunned my cows and stopped their damage to come through. But we don't save the Alt-Human Kite. Now, he's building a little bit of a scary push here, but Labard kind of protects us from that. The Coop also protects us. Right now, we're just kind of wanting to cycle back to cows in a minute. So Labard here just to kind of deal with the riffraff. We don't want to lose a bar just because everybody's attacking different stuff. We're going to lead our Scuzzle behind. Nope. Smart to change that. We're going to kill the Shield Maiden before we kill the Scuzzle, which is the plan there. All right, this is okay. Even if he takes the bar, obviously we're still in good shape here to get the bar afterwards. The Scuzzle might go on the cows here, though, so he might struggle. But it doesn't. The cows die before that. Actually, might have helped me to have the cows actually take the bar there. But we go ahead and just snake him through. Well played on his part for sure. Well played for sure. All right, well done. Chef's HV Bear. Chef's is a good team, so the wins here, even if it's on a lower team, you know, you can expect that they're going to be pretty well trained, good levels, and it could be somebody's alt account, right? So it could be that it's a really good player on the other side. So you always got to be smart when you're playing a chef. All right, HIV Bear, is that what it meant? So this is pretty good, just a counter bottom side play to his Santa. You see how the Santa actually doesn't affect me at all. The shield there helping me out a lot. We're going to use the alt human kite just so we can back play a little bit if we need to. We don't want to push his Santa back though. So I should have used it a little earlier. But that's all right. We're going to use the cows to push back the Santa. That's an interesting play. Didn't actually work that well. Should have put him on the front side. He didn't get pushed, but because of his aggro range, he does chase the cows a little bit. The Scuzzle is chasing the cows. We're looking pretty good here. We use the Labard to clean up the riffraff so that the cows can take out that bar. Otherwise, the Coop might have taken us out. You can see the lava, even with Coop, even with Scuzzle, even with New Kid, it was not enough to stop stuff. We're going to use our Mintberry Crunch out here to give us a little bit of extra health, just enough to burst through these Coops with our Coops. We got to worry about that Shield Maiden on the top side. Well done there. We want to make sure we get the Mintberry Crunch on the Shield Maiden. Nicely done there. That target change was good for us. He's going to get the... All right, we're playing a little slow here. We already have the lead on the bar, so we're not too worried. We're just going to let the bar reset here and go from there. We're going to get our Scuzzle out, so this is good. We just got to play better with our Scuzzle than he did. Now, this is scary a little bit because we don't know when he's going to play the alt human kite, which is going to prevent us from playing like Scout Ike or something like that immediately on him. So like I said, here we're just working on the counter. We use the... Ooh, that actually, the Wonder Tweak actually pulls away his cow because of the way stuff works. That's interesting. So we have 44 seconds. This should take the last one. If he uses the alt human kite, it actually pushes us closer. So good for him to not use that. But he's just leaving him up there with the Scuzzle boost. Scuzzle could potentially get the cows boosted here. But no, the Scuzzle is not going to die. And my cows come through. Are they going to take the cake? Look at this cow. See, look at that cow come through and just like triple hit. Like, that was crazy. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Okay, I think that is that a restart? Okay, I think this one. We didn't watch this one. So we got Jack Splat from Fingerbang. Fingerbang's a pretty good team, leading with the cows. Not terrible, but this could happen. Like you can counter the cows into the cows, and it actually works pretty well because you see how they just like they get just fuck shit up. And my cows take a bunch of damage too, but it damages their cows. So he takes a bar, but it doesn't take a second. And you see how I get to the second bar and I actually do damage on the second bar. So it definitely benefited me more. I have a push into his bar way better than his push. The lava not gonna help. Nicely done. That level 5 gets taken out. I don't think level 6 dies to the Mintberry Crunch straight up. I could be wrong though. Honestly, I've found that Dark Mage Craig is actually pretty good. It's surprisingly good counter to towers, because if you have a push that inevitably is gonna push into a tower, like sometimes you can prevent it. Like obviously you don't want to. Ooh, sniping the chaos, beautiful. You don't want to, walk right into that. But if you can play around it, You don't want to walk right into the towers if you can choose to. But if you do walk into the towers and you have the Dark Mage Craig, you might pull it off. Otherwise, you're just going to get smacked without it. So that there was kind of shitty. But we used the pull, and the cocks are going to... That's what I mean. The cocks on the bottom side, it's just hard to deal with. Very easy, very well played. I thought this week was fun. A week we've played before. Obviously, most weeks are. I don't think they're doing new ones at all anymore. The last new one they did was the one to add the new card, the final card into it, which I'm having a bit. Mephisto. That one deck has Mephisto. Barry into Scuzzle, right? That could have been dangerous for sure. He got lucky there. But I didn't like. It's just hard to get that consistent member berries. And I would say the only way to really truly get member berry value is to play member berries after the other person played their member berries, because you're guaranteed to get member berry spawn off of their member berry spawn. So that if it's inevitable that you're gonna hit the member berries, you can use your member berries and you'll at least get a spawn off of them. But that just comes down to luck, because if they luck into Scuzzle and fucking Santa off of their member berries, and you play Chaos and Alt Human Kite, like you just lost that game, right? Whereas if you would have just played Alt Human Kite behind New Kid, maybe with Chaos and some other stuff, maybe you could just defend it normally instead of having to use the member berries. So member berries is one of those cards where it's just, when you know it's coming, it's not very good. When you know the option, and when you can't build the deck specifically around it. That's why you don't see Tower Cock Magic in Team Wars very often. You don't actually see Tower all that often, because it can be dangerous sometimes, especially if mind control is involved. You don't want to accidentally give your opponent 5 towers, right? So that's important to think about. But I mean, Satan is hard to pick sometimes, because if you know Satan's an option, you're never going to give people value. Same for Leanne. If you know Leanne's an option, you're not going to play into the Leanne. Same with Cock Magic in general. Same could be said, I would say, with like Lightning Bolt and stuff to an extent, because like if I know that Lightning Bolt's a target, I might just pick the deck where there isn't really a target, right? Like a lot of the times when Unholy Combustion is a target, we don't pick anything higher than 4 costs. So anything you remove, there might still be removal targets like Stand of Many Moons or Mecha or something like that that's still worth it, but you're still losing that energy every time. We're not gonna play. And if I know that Disarray is an option, I'm not gonna play Mecha alone behind New Kid, right? So it's like, that's one reason I like Team Wars over anything else, and I like these new events too, because if you know what cards are coming and you're a better player, you can outplay the person much easier. Whereas if it's random, it's like, okay, I build this big push and then you just get Sataned or Inkened or Cock Magic or Aerostormed or something you don't know is coming. If I'm running a really cheap deck and I put 4 Assassins down and he fucking Aerostorms, like I lose. Like that's game over. Just because he has Aerostorm and I didn't know about it. But if I knew he had Aerostorm, I would have never played those 4 Assassins. I would have staggered him. I would have made him use the Aerostorm on 2 of them and then slam 2 more afterwards, right? That's different. Don't tell not to feed all my energy into a Satan. Yeah. No, I'm just leaving it on this screen while we talk, because I don't have the camera on, so I don't want to switch to another screen. That's it for the game. That was really quick. Don't look.
Got him! Got him!
Yeah, I don't really have like an interim screen to go to. So we actually didn't have any battles on the Adventure Lock this week, because the Adventure Lock had level 2 Midberry Crunch, level 2 Shield Maiden. Like I just could not. I got some bars with the cows and some Scuzzle stuff, but like I just could not compete with. Every game the enemy got his Midberry Crunch out and I just got destroyed by it. Level 4, level 5, like just destroyed by it. So it wasn't even entertaining to watch at all. But that does it for this video. And that does it for the stream, actually. We just did this quick down and dirty. I appreciate you guys for stopping by early into the stream and being here with me for this. was going to be weekly. We're going to do this every week. You know, even if we don't get a normal stream, we're going to pop in just like this and do these. Show us sounds entertaining. What? Show us what? Sorry, I wasn't listening. I don't remember what I was talking about. But yeah, so we're going to call it for the night. If you're watching on YouTube, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you comment. It means a lot. Comment your favorite game. We had a couple good ones. You know, the Chef Scout, a couple good comebacks. I almost always have comebacks on cow weeks because the best play is to actually give up your bar. Because if you deal with the cows, you might be in trouble because you might have just fed into some problem. But it kind of depends on the week. This week, there wasn't a whole lot that you had to worry about, like, him building off of. The weeks where it's, like, cows and something like Nicole or, you know, maybe BHK or something like that, something where you can really counter well and just get a push that's just impossible to deal with. Those weeks, I think, are the fun ones. But this one, you didn't have to worry that much. You could kind of just play the cows and almost get guaranteed a bar. It was just about kind of not losing 2 bars for one set of cows, which is pretty hard this week when you have things like Wonder Tweak to pull them away, Mintberry Crunch attack to help deal with it, Professor Chaos Stun helps a lot, stuff like that. Still looking for a silver team? No, I got onto Namder Garden, so that should work. I know they're bouncing back and forth, but that should be fine. This week has double towers. You know, I didn't even look. I haven't been paying attention to decks. Ever since they started swapping decks for decks we've already done, I stopped really paying attention because all the theory crafting has really been done, and we don't really have to worry about thinking of what's the best because we've lived through it at least once, maybe twice now. I don't think we have like a big database of everything, and it would be hard to keep track. I wish they would say like this was the same as this week and this week. That would help a lot. But right now, as it stands now, we just kind of have to skim through the past weeks and come with it. But double towers, going fart. I like fart. Robin and Scuzzlebutt. That's a good one. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting. But the thing about that though is that you have to remember that the tower decks are better because when you build for the tower deck, right? And if you can't truly build for that, they're not as good. You know, you can't just put a tower in any deck. Well, tower defender maybe you could, but you can't just put cyborg tower in any deck and it's really good because there's ways to deal with it, and the ways that what makes the decks good is that they have counter cards for the way to deal with it, you know. Or a way to punish you for if you play the counter, which would be like slam units or whatever, they punish you with cock magic or something like that. So win condition for next week is keeping BHK alive, probably. Maybe I'll start getting the deck together, and on this week we'll go through the deck a little bit and just talk about, you know, what would be good and stuff, but we'll see. I was thinking about starting maybe doing these on Saturday. But I don't like the commitment of doing Team Wars on Saturday. And I always do it Sunday night, and it's like, I've never streamed it. I've always done it as like my girlfriend's almost always at work at that time. And so it's like my time where I can fucking watch a movie or want to watch or listen to a podcast or do whatever. And, you know, just make it last like 2 hours, but just hang out and have some fun. But anyway, I digress. We're going to take off. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Next week, we'll be back with a normal Monday stream. Tomorrow, we will be live at 6 or 7. We're going to play a little bit of South Park, and we're going to jump into Fall Guys early. We're going to play a bunch of Fall Guys tomorrow, so make sure you're there. We'll be having a good time. And make sure you keep up with all my other social medias, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Glanzer Gaming. Check it out. I appreciate the support over there. If you do happen to catch my reels and stuff like that, leave a like, leave a comment. It means a lot, and you'd be surprised how much, like, a couple likes will push the video from 200 views to 2,000 views. So I really appreciate that. Thank you guys. Akuma, Jeff, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Matt, we'll see you guys tomorrow for some Fall Guys. And we'll catch you next week on the Team Wars game. I'm going to put this up here on YouTube tonight, so be on the lookout. Bye-bye.